Hello everyone, we are the fifth group of world literature class, and today we are going to make our last project for this class. We're making a podcast, and hello everyone, my name is Enrico Otto Nurmansyah as the first host of today's podcast.
Hello Enrico too.
Yes, hello everyone. And
Hello,
then
hello, hello, hello.
of course, I'm not alone. I'm only with another member of our group. And please welcome the next member is Iwa.
Hi everyone. So I'm Iwa Haryanti. You can call me Iwa.
Yes.
And let's feel the excitement of diving into the magical world hidden behind the simple things is magical realism. And me and Rico,
Yes.
just two people here, but we have the next member is Damar. Hi Damar.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello
Oh,
everyone.
Damar.
Hello,
Are you
hello,
good?
Enrico.
Are you good?
Yes, yes,
Hi.
praise the Lord, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, let me introduce myself first. My name is Damar Galatian Wibowo, but you can call me Damar. I'm not a book reader actually, but I have several books recommendation for you all.
Wow.
Yes,
Let's see.
Damar,
Do it.
yes.
how you don't really read book, but you can give some recommendations to our listeners? How?
Because I'm start to reading a book lately, and turns out I found it very interesting.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yes. Without further ado, let's introduce the rest of the member. Yeah, should we?
Yeah.
Okay, please welcome the next member, Farah.
Hello everyone, hello
Hello.
Damarel,
Hello,
Iwa,
hello.
Enrico. Hello
Yeah.
everyone, my name is Krasnandita Faras Wasnyadi. You can just call me Faras. And
Hello, Farah.
I am more like Damar. I'm not really a reader, but yeah, I have several books recommendation as well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
That's
go.
it. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. And the last member of the
Last
fifth group,
member.
world
Let's
literature,
go. Let's go. Let's go.
Baswara.
Best
Hello,
one.
hello, hello, everyone.
Oh,
Hello.
it sounds like a mysterious guy.
Yeah, he is a Sigma, you know?
He's a Sigma.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Before we jump into the Latin and magical realism, could you tell me what is your favorite book from
Ooh.
Damar maybe?
Oh, okay. So maybe my book is not from Latin or magical realism, but I have this one book that relive my childhood memories. It's called The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. So it's
Ah,
a
yeah.
book. Yeah, it's a book actually about eco-criticism, but it's a children literature. So yeah, it's very it's very engaging for me, and it has a special place in my heart.
Oh, nice. We have that recommendation from the class, right?
Yes, I recommend it.
Oh, that's great. Okay, next I want to hear another recommendation from Bintang Baswara Prihamboro. Silakan.
Bintang Baswara.
okay, so I know that there's been a movie about this book. I think this book is very, very interesting because, like the Murray, it is very close to my childhood. Also, you guys might know Life of Pi. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Life of Pi.
Yeah, I
Nice.
recommend that book because
Ooh.
the movie is very good. So the book
Also very good.
must be equally good, right?
Yes.
Hmm?
Okay,
Yeah.
next. Iwa, give me your book recommendation.
Of course, yes. I have one of the best book in magical realism. It's The House of the Spirit. You know it, everyone?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like why I like this book because it delves into themes of family and identity, like exploring the relationship between generations within the tribal family, like that. So you should read it, guys. Have you ever read this book?
What is
Uh,
no?
Okay. Next time, maybe let's be review about this.
I think I ever heard that title before.
Oh,
yeah. The title it seems familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems familiar.
The House of the Spirit. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the last one, Faras, give me your book recommendation.
Okay. My recommendation. Well, it's not really a magical realism. It's more of a science fiction. It's called War of the Worlds. Do you guys know that?
Oh, War
It's
of
a-
the Worlds.
Yeah, War of the Worlds. It's a classic English novel. It's about like a bunch of Martian invading the Earth with what you call it, tripods and stuff. It's really good.
Wow, that's great. Thank you, Faras. Thank you, everyone, to giving the listener for maybe they want to read our book, or maybe they have the same interests to us. And then, without further ado, we want to jump into our main topic today. It is the magical realism. Today, we are diving deep into the incredible world of magical realism.
That's right. Magical realism is not just a literary genre, it's a lens through which authors blend the real and the fantastical to reveal deeper truths about the human experiences.
Yes, that's right. It's rooted in myth, folklore, and real-world struggle, particularly in Latin American.
Whether it's floating girls, endless rain, or magical food, magical realism takes the impossible and grounds it in everyday life.
Today we'll explore its origins, iconic authors like Gabriel García Márquez and Isabel Allende, and how magical realism critiques politics, colonialism, and social inequality.
Wow, I think this topic is kinda really interesting because magical, when we hear, when we know, when we listen to something that is related to magical, we will know a lot. Mainly, we will know a lot, and we can imagine how beautiful the creatures can make magic and power, and it is really a good experience if we read about magical realism, and I am really into it. What about you, Damar?
Oh yeah, of course. Our imagination will play along as we read the book, right? Yeah. Hey.
Okay, but before I want to start and jump and give some recommendations about the book about magical realism, I want to know what is the exactly of magical realism. At its core, magical realism treats the supernatural as a natural part of the world.
And right, in this stories, magical events happen without question, and characters don't blink when a girl floats into the sky, or when it rains for 4 years straight, like that.
Yeah. Yes, also these fantastical elements exist alongside ordinary life, and it's creating a seamless blending of reality and fantasy.
Yeah. A key feature here is that magical realism is deeply tied to cultural heritage. Like in Latin America, for example, stories incorporate indigenous myths, spiritual beliefs, and folklore. The magical becomes believable because it reflects something timeless and cultural.
Yes.
Yeah, and do you guys know that magical realism isn't just about imagination and wonder? It's also a powerful tool for social and political commentary. Like others use the blend of magic and reality to predict issues like colonial oppression, inequality, and dictatorship.
That seamless blending is what makes magical realism so unique.
That's so
That's
It
unique.
right.
forces
That's
the
very
readers
true.
to reconsider what they define as real and possible. That is really great. That is why
Yeah.
I really interesting, and I am really happy that we discussing about these topics for
Yeah.
today. Right, Damar?
Yes. Yes. That's absolutely true.
Of
What
course.
about what about what about you, Iwa? Have
Yeah. I have the same idea with all of you guys that magical realism is so um, unique.
hmm? Yeah, it's really
Okay.
unique.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we talk about the legends who brought magical realism to life. First up, we know, everyone know this very phenomenal writer, Gabriel García Márquez.
Wow,
Ah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
The master himself,
That's a
Yeah,
point.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Yeah. We cannot talk.
100
Yeah.
Years of Solitude. That is a
Mm.
really good book of magical realism. It's a cornerstone of magical realism, set in the fictional town of Macondo. It filled with extraordinary events like a girl ascending to the heavens while folding laundry. That is, oh my god, that is a masterpiece one.
Yeah, that is so true. We can, we cannot talk about Latin American, especially in the magic realism, without talking about the Macondos by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, right?
Mhm.
Yet these magical moments that feel ordinary. That's all I can say. With Macondo's endless reign, its ghost, and its miracle reflect the Latin America's complex history of colonialism, war, and isolation.
Then there's also Isabel Allende, who brought us the House
Yeah.
of the Spirits. Allende weaves magical element to the story of family, memory, and history. Her work often explore the lasting effects of political violence.
Yeah.
Hey, but we're talking legends, right? So
Yeah, we're talking about legend.
there's this one other huge figure. You guys know Juan Rulfo.
Juan, yeah.
Juan Rulfo, right? Whose novel, if you guys know this novel, Pedro Paramo,
Pedro Parra.
is someone of who likes to write haunting and poetic novels. And in Pedro Paramo, Juan Rulfo mixes ghost stories with rural Mexican realities, showing us a Mexico shaped by death, loss, and folklore.
Wow.
Okay, and this one is last but not least writer that we will discuss today is the writer of Like Water for Chocolate is Laura Escobar. We know that Escobar ties magical realism to African life, like a cooking. Everyone like cooking here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And then in her story, food became a vehicle for love, magic, and of course, like a family emotions.
Wow, that is
Wow,
really
that's-
great. Okay,
Yeah.
we have now we have a lot of figures. Laura Esquivel, Juan Rofo, Isabel Allende, Gabriel
Gabriel
Marquez,
Yes.
and I want to ask Baswara, who is your favorite magical realism author?
Of course, it's the legend himself, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Man. What kind of
Yeah.
question is that?
It's the most popular.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
don't-
best one. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, we move to the themes and example of magical
The Latin.
realism.
Yeah. So let's dive into some recurring themes and maybe we can mention some example of literature in magic realism.
Okay, one major theme is the blurring of reality and fantasy. For instance, in 100 Years of Solitude, the rain in Macondo doesn't stop for 4 years. It's surreal, but treated as completely normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. That's true. But we can also find another example that comes from Alejo Carpentier's The Kingdom of This World. Have you guys read that? He uses magical realism to explore Haitian voodoo and the Haitian Revolution.
I remember.
The magical elements here reflect the spiritual resilience of enslaved Africans and their fight against colonial dominance.
Yeah.
Right. I know that magical realism is also tied to political critique.
Oh.
Think about Blasphemy Ultima by Rudolfo Anaya. It reflects the struggles of the Chicano community, particularly the mix of indigenous beliefs and Catholicism.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And guys, then there's the invention of moral by Adolfo, and in his novel, surreal machines and events reflect the dangers of technology and the dangers of dictatorship and isolation in Argentina, like that.
Oh.
Yeah, so in other words, so whether it's about colonial oppression, dictatorship, or cultural identity, magical realism uses the fantastical to tell real world the truths, right?
Yeah. To tell the world the truths with magical. That is
Yeah,
why
it's a
magical realism is
fantastical
really
aspect,
interesting.
Yeah,
Of course.
it's really fantastic.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Okay. Next.
That's really
Next
interesting.
segment.
So
Yeah.
we've talked about the themes. So, but why does magical realism resonate? Magical
well-
realism resonates because it gives voices to culture and histories that have often been silenced.
Exactly, Faras.
Yeah.
Because we know in post-colonial Latin America, reality itself was fragmented by colonialism, war, inequality, by blurring reality and fantasy. Magical realism offers a unique way to process trauma and tell stories that matter. But yeah, it seems like how they process trauma is like by imagination. Yeah, I think it's unique.
Yeah. But I think beside
Mm.
of the blurring of reality and fantasy that we always talk along this podcast, I want to mention more about the magical realism. It is so timeless. Whether
Yeah.
we're talking about a dictatorship in Argentina, and we know Argentina is not all about Messi because
Messi.
there is-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all about football.
Mm. Or a family saga in Chile, these stories feel universal, really
Yeah,
universal to
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
We could understand all the love, loss, and oppression. And the last one, and the need to hope for something magical.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, of course. And that's why authors like Garcia Marquez, Allende, and Rolfo remain so influential. And they didn't just create
Really?
stories, right? Yeah, they created works that help us understand our own.
Yeah,
Are you agree with
exactly.
that, everyone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Mhm.
That's exactly like Iwa said. So magical realism isn't always about just about the magic, but it's also finding the meaning in chaos and also the beauty in the struggle.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
But before we jump into the book recommendation of magical realism, I know something about it that magical realism is always put something like traditional folklore into a story. Like
Yeah.
there are a lot of things that is based on the traditional folklore or stories back in the country like Chile or Argentina or maybe Haruki Murakami's world that the authors put into the story, and then from the story we can know the traditional stories, we can know how the people think in Japan, in Argentina, or in Chile, and we can know a lot of things from the magical realism themes because it is really rooted in their ancestor story and ancestor things do what they imagine, and when we read it we have our own imagination to interpret the story. That is really great, I think.
Yeah.
We move into the book recommendation
Yay!
of
Let's go, let's go,
magical
let's go.
realism. Who wanna start first?
You maybe?
Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't I haven't give any book recommendation today, but we always talk about Latin America in magical realism. But today I wanna recommend
Yeah.
one of the greatest magical realism author from Japan. It is Haruki Murakami.
Wow.
The one and only.
Yeah,
Haruki
thought-
Murakami.
yeah. I think like Man Without Woman by Haruki
Ooh.
Murakami. It's really like Damar. The stories in it. It is a collection of short stories about loneliness, connection, and the ways people drift apart. Something Murakami's capture so beautiful. Each story feels like a quiet, reflective moment that lingers with you. I feel like you will really connect with his style and the way he explores emotion. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did.
Oh, yeah. And it's rare to find writers from Asia, right? For magical realism itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
really
it's-
magical, it's really great, and it is talk about things like loneliness, connection, and the way how people drift apart. Something like
Yes.
that is
Loneliness
Cool.
is something
From
that
Japan.
really relates to me. Loneliness and
That's interesting, yeah.
Don't crying, Damar, don't cry, that's okay.
yeah.
Okay, who wanna give the example?
Yeah.
You want to hear my book recommendation?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay. So my book recommendation is The House of the Spirit is by Isabel Allende. It goes to themes of family and identity. For anyone who
What?
Do you have trouble, Iwa?
oh yeah, sorry, I'm back.
Yeah.
So yeah, may I continue? Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, okay. The House of the Spirit is exploring the intricate relationship between the generations within the tribal family. And this novel also tackles social and political change, blending personal stories with the drop of historical events like the rise of the military in Chile. And spirituality plays a significant role, especially through Clara. Clara is the one of the character here, and a character who communicates with spirits and foresees the future, and embodying the magical realism what defines the novel. And I'm so recommend this book to you guys because it's so good because it combines an emotionally rich family saga with a historical setting like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how about you, Damar? Do you give us a book recommendation of magical realism theme?
For me personally, so yeah, I have my own favorite book about Latin American, especially in magical realism. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to share with you a book that's just not a story, but an unforgettable experience.
Wow, that is a great phrase.
Yeah, it's titled "Beloved" by Toni Morrison. Maybe you guys know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
so
never
it's
heard about him.
it's a one of a kind. It's a masterpiece that won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction in
Wow.
1988.
Wow, Pulitzer
Yeah,
Prize. That's a great
yeah,
achievement.
that's a great achievement, right? So,
Yes.
yeah, this book is set in a post Civil War America. Beloved tells about the haunting and the powerful story of Seth, a formerly enslaved woman who escaped to Ohio. So, but even though in her freedom, she still feel haunted, literally and figuratively by her trauma of her past.
Mm.
So the story unfolds when a mysterious young woman named Beloved appears at her doorstep. So is she real? Is she a ghost? Or a physical manifestation of Seth's guilt and grief. So that's all I can say about this book. So it really
Great.
is
Wow,
a one of a kind experience when you read it. So
wow, that's great. Okay, maybe.
so yeah, uh, why you should read Beloved maybe. So it's a story about love and survival. I give you four key points to why you should read Beloved. So first one is it's a story about love and survival.
Okay.
It's the power of a magical realism,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very beautiful, and it's very beautiful and poetic writing, and also it is a history lesson that I think we all need. So
Wow.
yeah, that's my book recommendation for you guys. You might be interested in
Mhm.
reading this book, Beloved by Toni Morrison. It's very good.
Wow.
Trust me.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, the next one, we move to Faras.
Hmm. So mine would be The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. It's a story about childhood, memory, and the delicate line between the ordinary and the magical. It follows an unnamed narrator who, as an adult, revisit the forgotten part of his past. And then he meet a girl named Letty, I think, and her mysterious family who protect this ocean that link to another world, blending
Mhm.
nostalgia and cosmic wonder. The book also explores themes like innocence, fear, and resilience. The writing, I could say, it's very poetic,
Mhm.
weaving fantasy into everyday life in a way that feels natural and very moving. It's a kind of story that stays with you long after you finish it.
Oh,
Mm.
it's really interesting, right?
Yeah,
Very.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, our last member will give his book recommendation of magical realism.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Yeah,
Baswara.
okay. My book recommendation, like I said before, is called Life of Pi by Ian Martel in 2001. Life of Pi is a Canadian philosophical novel by Ian Martel, published in 2001. The protagonist is Pishin Molitor, who's called Pi, an Indian boy from Pondicherry, India, who explores issue of spirituality, metaphysics, and survival. We could see that they are. So there's this tiger and there's Pi, and they are both stranded in the ocean in the same little boat, and we could see their journey from how they are still distanced from each other until the tiger and Pi became friends, and what what kind of islands that they meet in their journey and stuff. And yeah, it's very very interesting if you like survival and magical survival realism. Yeah. This-
Yeah. It's very intriguing, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Life of Pi, uh, in a boy and then a tiger. And that's very magical, right?
I agree. Okay, I think our time is up. Let's wrap this up, okay?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it
Yeah,
up.
all right.
Yeah.
If you guys have no other recommendation, I think that is all for today's episode, guys. Magical Realism
Yeah.
reminds us that the line between fantasy and reality is often thinner than we think, because I think I have schizophrenia. But just a joke, just a joke.
Come on,
Or
man.
maybe if you read something about magical realism, you will become a delulu.
Then
Yeah.
Hello.
yeah, specialist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and through its rich storytelling, it connects us to history, culture, and the very real challenges of our world.
Yeah, that's true. So if you haven't yet, so go pick up 100 Years of Solitude, The House of the Spirit, Pedro Paramo, or Beloved. So yeah, just trust us. These stories will change how you see your perspective to see the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot from us, everyone. Thanks for joining us on StoryCraft. Next time, keep exploring stories that blur the boundaries of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are a group of 5 members, and this is our last project. And
See
see you soon.
soon.
Happy
Happy
reading.
reading.
Everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.